everyone, this is Michael out in Maui. Aloha. So today I thought I'd talk about the difference between a forehand throw and a forehand flick. They are two different shots. The forehand, you know, a lot of times people will get the two mixed together because they think, you know, forehand comes in with the next step. So you'll come into the forehand with the next step and throw. But sometimes what they'll do is they'll come in with the X step. You know, you'll do your X step, but then they'll have the disc right here in front of them, and then they'll pop it from here. And that's a flick. So a forehand comes in from an X step, and a flick just comes in with a step. You just want to step and throw. So I notice here a lot of times, you know, I notice or talk to guys and they're getting them mixed together. So the difference would be, if you're going to throw the flick, it's a placement shot. So if you have, you know, that last 100 feet, 150 feet, and you want a placement shot, is what a flick is. A forehand is a long range throw. That's a max distance throw. You're trying to go as far as you can. So when you're throwing the flick, because it's just a placement shot, you know, like when you're throwing a backhand, throw, they refer to it as an upshot. So an upshot is a close range backhand throw, where you would just stand, no stride, you know, and you would throw the shot 150 feet. So for a forehand, that same shot is a flick. And that's what would be referenced as an upshot. So a flick is the upshot. So there's kind of two styles that a lot of people use for throwing a flick. The two different ways that you kind of want to throw it would be either throwing a, you know, a regular disc on a straight hyzer flick, where you would just come in, flick it, stay in a hyzer, comes around, or you get an overstable disc like an Excalibur. That's overstable. Or you get an overstable disc and you throw it high on the outside edge, you flick it this way. So now the disc will turn left to give you a little more distance, and you could move the disc left, then it will flatten out, then it will come back and hook to the right. So by doing like an overstable disc, it would be like, you know, you want to go around a tree. You know, you want a little more distance, get around the tree, then you want the thing to roll over and come back to your right. A regular disc would be kind of more like, let's say you just got an open fairway, you know, you just want that thing to go down the fairway and make the turn and glide at the basket. So then you go a regular disc. So the two different ways of throwing them would be on the, let's say you're going to do a force over. You're going to turn it over with the overstable disc. It's a close stance because you're just placement shot. So you're just here. A lot of times guys will hold the disc with both hands. Take your grip like normal, you know, just two fingers pushing on the bottom of the plate. The whole throw is done with the push of the fingers again. You know, that snap of the fingers, you know, the faster you can push those fingers in the wrist, you know, that generates the power. So you kind of just hold it close to your face, you know, elbows in the, you know, middle. And you're kind of just thinking here, you know, so you're just going to step and throw like that. You're just going to take a step, see my step, and then throw. Your head goes with your front foot. So if you're just standing really close together, and it's a step. So it'd be kind of like, if this is my foot, I'm only going to step a little bit. So I'm here looking down the fairway, you know, I'm just going to step like that, just a little tiny step. When you're throwing the flick, you don't want your foot perpendicular to the fairway. Once again, you want it open. So you could even start with it open. You know, like if I'm throwing it down the fairway, you know, my stance can be open, you know, foot's open. So I'm standing here, I just want to step. A nice bend of the leg so you can shift your weight, but you just step like that. Just a little bit of movement, and then it's just a flick of the wrist on that throw. Your hips and your shoulders are open on the throw. So you're here, just step, and then release it. And all your weight is on the front foot. Bring that leg through. That ends the shot. So it kind of looks like, you know, you're just kind of looking at your shot, placement shot. Disc is up high towards your face. You know, your palm is facing your face, you know, it's up. So if I'm throwing it this way, you know, you see the palm's up because it's going to flick the disc this way. You know, so it's just a close stance. You're here, take a step, your head goes with it. So just think of just a step, throw. See, all my weight's transferred. You know, it's all up here. You know, right after that throw, then you can come through. But you can see the throw is kind of just, it's that. You know, it's just a step, throw it. No more body movement. You know, just here, disc up high, and then just step with it. So then you're here, you know, my head is there. Throw and follow it in. Once again, you know, keep a good body angle and bent legs. You want balance. You know, throw from down here. You know, you're here, pop it, but good balance. Then if you want to throw, you know, a regular hyzer, so it's just a regular disc, like it doesn't need to be an overstable because it's a different shot now. You want to just throw it out on a hyzer. So the difference with a hyzer throw is when you snap and throw the disc, you want your palm up. Palm should be facing up on the release of the disc. So when you're here and you release it and you snap the fingers, palm's up. And the reason you want your palm up is you want to guarantee that that nose stays up on the release of the disc. You can see if I'm down here and my palm opens to the camera, you can see the nose of the disc pitches down. See, my palm's facing you and the nose of the disc is coming down. So what's going to happen is you're going to come here and you're going to release it like this, and you're going to release it with the nose down. You know, it's just going to pitch to the ground. So that's why you want to throw it with the palm up, and that'll give you a nose up on the flight. So you're throwing it like this, the nose will come up because your palm's up, and you'll get a, you know, a nice little hyzer flight. As you get better throwing it, you can try to, you know, dial it in a little more so you can get a little flatter flight. But for now, I would just get it, keep that palm up. You know, you'd rather have the nose ride high than, you know, getting that nose down. So the only difference would be, so for throwing this, instead of having the disc up here, you want to drop it below your elbow. You want your wrist below the elbow when you throw this one. So it's the same, everything else is the same, close stance. You're kind of just looking at your shot, squat a little, you know, get your bend. This is where your balance is. And then it's the same thing, it's just a step. So you just step, your weight is right there, and then you throw from here. It's just a throw from there. And it's all the wrist and the fingers snapping again. The reason you don't want to overstride it is because you want to get your weight shifted, but because you're not running up, you don't really have momentum. You know, like on a backhand, if you're running up, you know, you got all that momentum that brings you on top of your foot. You know, so when you're doing a flick, you know, the momentum is, you know, you're throwing the whole thing with your hands. You know, it's just this. So you don't want to overstep because you don't want to, leave your weight back here on the back leg and just twist out, here. You don't want to make, this isn't the throw. Don't overly stride, just turn the hips, and you're here. That's not the throw. But by taking a shorter step, see, I can keep my head right with it because that's my weight right there. See, I've transferred all my weight with just that little step. See? I'm right here. I only move my foot that little bit. But you can see how my head is now on top. So I've already shifted. See? It all shifted. If I stride out further, see, now I got to get my head all the way up here. But because the throw is just a snap of the wrist, you don't want to do all that. You just want to stay here. Like I say, hold the disc down low and then just take a step. So you're here, step, and you can see how my arm didn't go back here, because it's just a placement shot. So you're just here, you're just gonna step, your weight's on top, and throw it. You can see how all my weight is on the front. There's nothing back there. I could lift my leg instantly. So that's all you're doing, is just open everything up with the step. So you're here, you look at your shot, and then when you step, everything's open, and the whole throw is just your arm. It's just this right here. There's no extra body movement. Just pop it right here and hit your spot. So you're here, just down low, and you can see the whole throw is there, but once again, I have no weight back here. It's all gone. I transferred it all up here. That's why they always say that, you should walk through with the shot, because that means you transferred all your weight. If I make this throw, if I step in here and I throw, and I can't step with it and walk down the fairway, I didn't transfer my weight. It's still back here. So if I'm here, all I gotta do is look at my shot, nice little 100-foot shot, 150 feet, just right there. I'm just gonna hold the disc. So I'm just gonna take a small step, like right there. But see, I have no more weight on there. I could bring it through. So at the end of the shot, you're just balanced on that front leg. It's just there. So anyways, I hope that helps decipher the difference between a forehand and a forehand flick. So practice both. They're really handy to have that flick. And then practice, like I say, with an overstable disc and throw a regular disc when you're doing it. So anyways, this is Michael out in Maui. Aloha.